Ever wonder how that perfectly wobbly panna cotta or silky smooth mousse holds its shape, defying gravity right on your spoon? It's not magic, it's science, and it's all thanks to gelatin. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the dessert world's unsung heroes, gelatin. We're going to dive deep into the fascinating chemistry that makes it tick, demystify why it sets, and equip you with the knowledge to create show-stopping jellos, flawless panna cottas, and featherlight mousses right in your own kitchen. Get ready to transform your dessert game from good to how did they do that? All right, let's get down to basics. What exactly is gelatin? Simply put, it's a protein derived from collagen, which comes from animal connective tissues. Think of it like a superhero protein that starts as long, coiled-up chains. When you introduce these chains to warm liquid, something pretty cool happens. Those tight coils start to relax and unravel, spreading out and mingling with all the water molecules around them. But here's where the magic really kicks in. As that mixture cools down, those unraveled protein chains start looking for their buddies again. They don't just coil back up tightly. Instead, they link together, forming a vast, intricate three-dimensional net. Imagine a microscopic spiderweb, but instead of catching flies, it's trapping all those water molecules. This web is what we call a gel. It's stable enough to hold its shape, but still flexible enough to give you that delightful jiggle and melt-in-your-mouth feel that we all love in desserts. The firmer the gel, the more connections those protein chains have made, and the more water they've successfully trapped. It's essentially a solid suspended in liquid, defying gravity with every wobble. Now, you'll typically find gelatin in two main forms in your grocery store: powdered and sheet, sometimes called leaf gelatin. Most home bakers are familiar with powdered gelatin. It usually comes in small packets, and the key to using it correctly is blooming. Blooming means sprinkling the dry powder over a small amount of cold liquid and letting it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. This rehydrates those protein chains, letting them soak up moisture before you introduce heat. Think of it as waking them up gently. Without blooming, you risk having undissolved granules in your final dessert. Not exactly the smooth texture we're aiming for. Sheet gelatine, while less common in American home kitchens, is favored by many professional pastry chefs. It comes in thin, translucent sheets, and its big advantage is consistent strength and a cleaner flavor profile. To use it, you soak the sheets in a generous amount of cold water until they're soft and pliable, usually around 5–10 minutes. Then squeeze out the excess water before dissolving. The good news is, both types of gelatin do the exact same job. It's just a matter of preference and how you prepare them. Okay, so you understand the science, you know about blooming. But let's be real, even with this knowledge, things can go wrong. Have you ever tried to make a panna cotta only for it to be too runny, or a mousse that's more like a dense blob? Maybe you've ended up with a dessert that's rubbery, or worse, one that just won't set at all. These are common struggles, and usually they boil down to a few key missteps. The most common problem is using the wrong amount of gelatin. Too little, and your dessert becomes a sad, watery puddle. Too much, and you've got a rubber ball instead of a delicate jiggle. Another issue often stems from how you dissolve the gelatin after blooming. Remember those protein chains? They don't like extreme heat. Boiling gelatin can actually break down those delicate protein strands, weakening their ability to form that crucial gel network. You'll end up with a dessert that just won't set properly, no matter how long you chill it. But here's a big one. A real nemesis for gelatin: certain fresh fruits. Ever tried to make a jello with fresh pineapple or kiwi and found it never sets? You're not alone. These fruits, along with papaya, mango, and even fresh ginger, contain powerful enzymes called proteases. As the name suggests, protease means they protein. And what is gelatin made of? You guessed it, protein. These enzymes break down the gelatin's protein network, essentially destroying its ability to gel. The good news is, cooking these fruits, like blanching them or using canned versions, deactivates those enzymes, making them perfectly safe to use with gelatin. So, how do we conquer these challenges and ensure perfect, smooth, and perfectly set desserts every time? It comes down to a few golden rules. First, always bloom your gelatin in cold liquid before heating. This ensures it hydrates evenly and dissolves smoothly without lumps. Second, dissolve it gently. Once bloomed, whisk it into your warm liquid mixture until it's completely dissolved. If your mixture isn't warm enough, gently heat it over a low flame or in a microwave, but never let it boil. If you see bubbles, you've gone too far. Third, be mindful of temperature when incorporating. If you're adding dissolved gelatin to a cold mixture, like whipped cream for a mousse, you need to temper it. Take a small amount of the cold mixture, whisk it into the warm gelatin until combined, then gradually add that back into the rest of the cold mixture. This prevents the gelatin from seizing up into stringy bits. Fourth, know your ratios. The amount of gelatin you need depends on how firm you want your dessert and the other ingredients. A delicate panna cotta will use less gelatin than a firm jello. Recipes are your best friend here, but generally, 1 packet of powdered gelatin will set about 2 cups of liquid to a soft gel. Finally, avoid those enzyme-rich raw fruits unless they've been cooked or canned. It's an easy trap to fall into, but knowing why is half the battle. Once you understand these simple principles, gelatin stops being this mysterious ingredient and becomes your secret weapon, a tool that unlocks a whole new universe of dessert possibilities. From the vibrant shimmer of a classic jello to the luxurious creaminess of panna cotta or the airy delight of a chocolate mousse, gelatin is the silent architect behind that perfect texture. It provides the structure that allows other delicate flavors and ingredients to shine, giving your desserts a sophisticated finish. So, remember, gelatin is a protein. It needs to bloom, gentle heat is key, and watch out for those enzyme-rich fruits. With these tips, you're not just making desserts. You're conducting a little culinary chemistry, creating textures that will amaze everyone.